Hey everyone, and welcome to Cafe Rise. This is episode 155. We've got Rob Gregg here and Josh Jones. And man, it's been a while, and that's not normally the case, but we have been in crunch mode for a huge new release that came out last Friday. So apologies, and we have a lot to celebrate today. So let's just get right into it. The episode, we're going to be talking about a lot of the major features with the new release. We've got some sale items to talk about. We've got a hotfix coming. We've got node reminder and some apartment show and tell stuff to talk through. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fun episode. But before we go too far, Rob, what are you drinking?
Oh, just the standard. This
Tea?
is my taste.
Oh, okay. Nice.
The usual. What are you drinking, Josh?
I'm having a usual as well, a Spindrift apple flavored. Cheers, and let's celebrate. Let's talk about the good news first. You know what? We're shaking it up this episode. We are gonna start the episode with a leak. Normally, we save that for the end of the episode, but today we're giving a leak.
There'll be another later.
Huh? Yeah. So the leak today is that after this hotfix comes out, which might have already happened based upon timing of release of this episode, we are going to see how stable it is, make sure everything's good, and then we are going to start onboarding the 6,000 mainstream gamers from the ad funnel we ran, early access form filler routers. So the people that filled out, we have 6,000 people that filled out our early access form on our website, took the time to answer 10 questions. We have their emails. We're going to email all 6,000 of them probably over a few days. Start with a small test because we're emailing out a bunch of codes to give them access to the game. We're also going to give them a free Superverse weapon or some weapon, player-owned asset to drive them to the store, so they're aware of all the content in the store and that sort of thing as well. So that is happening, and I don't want to skip over this. What does that say? That we're willing to market to 6,000 people that are probably mainstream gamers and not Web3 gamers. It says that we're at a place where we feel comfortable with the content in the game and the quality of what we have, that we are finally ready to open the doors and start bringing them in. And that just is cheers, man. Like that's huge. We've been building since 2021. That's freaking amazing. And that's not the end of it. We also have coming shortly after, about 5 days after that, somewhere around there. Well, depending upon exactly when the hotfix comes out and when we realize the hotfix is stable and send those emails, it'll be next week, though, is the collab partnership with Regiment Gaming, who have over 100,000 gamers in their community. And so we're offering and providing a really cool Regiment backpack, jetpack hybrid for their community. To jump into the game, to get them access, and to say, hey, we love what you guys are doing. You're supporting veterans in your community, and we want to invite you into what we're doing. And here's a free gift. And they're probably primarily mainstream gamers. So it's a really cool thing that we're finally at this point where we feel comfortable enough with the quality of the game and where we're at that we can start the onboarding process.
And then they've got like 100,000 members, haven't they? So it's
Yes.
quite a big pool.
Yeah, it's not a small group. We're starting small though. We email them, I think like 200 to 400 codes, something like that, to get them in. And then when that fills up, we'll of course give them more, and we'll just keep sending them more codes as depending upon how active their community is, how many are into this kind of game, and how that goes. But yeah, I mean, it's huge. This gets more people into the game, and it's exciting, and it's a cool group of people too. So
now's the time to come and play.
Yeah, absolutely. So that being said, I mentioned a sale. We're starting now the summer sale, and the point of that is mainstream gamers have an expectation of content up in the store. You need to be able to have assets to play the game, that sort of thing. So we're filling up our store to be ready for them. That's happening over the next few weeks. We'll just be adding new items here and there. We'll be adding tier 3 as well when that's ready. Tier 3 of that last sale that started, that's the final segment, the Pathfinder tier. And so good stuff coming, and new, expect new people in the community starting next week, in our Discord. Hopefully, we'll get a lot of them joining our Discord and really diving in with you guys, because the people, I think, a lot, obviously the quality of the game is exciting, but you guys are people, and the culture that we've built is one of our greatest assets. You guys are welcoming to people, and you really show them around, and that's a big deal. You don't get that in a lot of games. So yeah, that's our leak. We're starting off with that, and hopefully you've already seen the hot fix, or you know that that's coming. But there's a good amount of things fixed in there. The several of the bugs, and then also the elevator speed increase,
Yeah.
which some people were. If you're on the penthouse floor, it's a long ride. Anybody new watching, we just had a major release, and it would be good to talk through each of those, the elements there. I know you've got some great detail that you can add, but first off was apartments and housing. Everybody gets a free apartment in Infinity Rising, and now you get to go flesh out that apartment. You get to go grab the one that you want. You find an apartment location that you want. You can upgrade to a larger apartment if you'd like to. Those are for sale on the site. But if you just want to take your free one and go start building, you can. You can go customize your apartment. And I've seen some really cool stuff from the community, but that's one of the major features that I'm most excited about. Really, really well done.
Yeah, there's a bit of a learning curve, like with most builders, to kit the apartment out. But we've got over 1,000 different in-game items that players can use to kit it out. But unlike a lot of traditional games, our apartments are permanent, so they're persistent in the world. So there's no two apartments that hold the same space. You're not all holding the same session. So whatever view people claim, that is your apartment in your tower block, and yeah, and that's a really powerful differentiator between a lot of traditional games.
Yeah, completely agreed. And you know what? I just realized I didn't give this proper context. For this release, the reason that there are so many items that Rob and I are about to talk through is because the complexity of the apartments and the build and the database and the saving and the loading and the testing around all of
Mhm.
that complexity was massive. So when we thought we were done and went into crunch mode is when we discovered all sorts of new things that we had to resolve and deal with over the last 5 weeks. So you haven't seen us in 5 weeks for Cafe Rise, because when we go into crunch mode, we need the full team laser focused on making sure we get this across the finish line, because the complexity of game dev is massive compared to regular development of just some app on a website or whatever it may be. It's significantly different. We're talking about a 3D world that's getting replicated to players all over the world. Your data, my data, flowing back and forth, multiple servers, multiple APIs, all sorts of issues that can come with that complexity of being a 3D world. So, and now we're giving tons of players, hundreds of assets, and millions of options for all those assets that
Mhm.
they get to configure inside their apartment. And that is huge. So the reason we have so many new features is because it took us a while to get through the debugging and the result. Like, this is not something that somebody just gets to flip on the switch and go make an apartment builder in their game quickly. Like, the barrier to entry for this is enormous. And we
Yeah.
just knocked out something massive.
Well, we started building um, last year, easily, maybe October last year is when we started the builder. It's taken well over 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think that the thing to celebrate there is that, not only is the game significantly more fun, but this brings a casual gamer element.
Mhm.
So we now have this blend of a deep progression based system, that's dynamic and changes. And also, along with the casual gaming, we have a really good blend of a simulation game that we're building. And I think it's incredibly powerful. So,
Yep.
huge thing to celebrate that. But the reason that we have all of these other things is because while we have some team resolving the apartment issues and the, just all the things performance wise that came up with that we've knocked out, everybody else was working on all sorts of different stuff that we're about to go through. So it gave us time to work in parallel and deliver a lot more that makes us very close to mainstream ready. I mean, we're trying to get to riffs for that, but and that's not that far off. So we're in an amazing spot. Let's talk through some of the rest. Civic Works and Missions is next. What do you
Yeah,
think?
so that's the questing system, and again, we started work on that last year. We released that in the previous build, which is the opening cinematics. It was there was only, I think, 15 different steps in that, but that was actually the early stages of the questing system. And now in this release, we've beefed that up. We've added more to the onboarding. We tightened up some of the code within there, and we've actually built onto it. Originally planned was going to be around about 40 or 50 different quests and missions, but because we had the extended time, we got to, in the end we got to 110, and we pulled some of those back because some of them were a bit tedious, so we didn't want to release too much, so we ended up with 97. That includes the onboarding ones, but so really there's about 80 different missions that some of them are arranging. Some of them take a few minutes to do, to some of them that are really advanced. Depends what your progression is, what level you're at, and we have the chain onto each other, quests on quests. So some of them are really engaging, and we've got the hidden secret one that we don't talk about, and nobody's discovered it yet, and they never will. I mean,
Uh, well, they
hopefully
might.
they don't.
Okay. Very good. So you covered questing, civic works, and missions with that one, but you had also had in the notes questing and story. Was there any element there that you wanted to cover from questing and story that you didn't?
Well, some of the story unfolds within the cinematics, um, and we can kind of talk about that a little bit later on when we talk about the relics. But with the progression, we also introduced the progression system. So this is season progression, because we're going to have the game when it goes live on Steam. They're going to be in different seasons, and each season there's going to be kind of like a theme, and players are going to be leveling up through it and having seasons, and some of the skills that you're leveling up are going to be permanent skills, so we can have like delivery skills. So that's one of the little mini games that we put in there, where you get to deliver against the clock, and we've seen a lot of players playing that, and they really like that. That gets challenging. The more you play, the more you actually unlock different challenges. It gets harder and harder. um, we have the careers, so we have the haulage, and the haulage is another one where you go to the voyage terminal in game, pick up some items, and then go and deliver them. So some of these, yes, the cargo hauling. So some of these are really local. So you start off in Toledo Valley. Some of them remain in Toledo Valley, but as you progress through them and you do more and more quests and you level up your haulage skills, you then get to do missions that start off in Toledo and then go cross world up to Solace, or into the hubs and around in there. So though they really grow that. So if you like those kind of quests, then they grow with you. And if you don't, then you just don't progress down that route. That's completely fine.
Yeah. Was there anything more you wanted to cover on delivery missions?
The delivery missions really is kind of like the food, where you have the drone, but actually, so the idea of that, and I shared a quick video on X, and so basically what you do is you pick up. There's 30 different locations within Toledo, and they're all randomized, and you go to, I think it's five, or maybe six, or on the easy level. Again, this is something that you progress up, and then when you get to the drop off point, you have to then switch and enter code. So it's all against the clock. It's all intended to to stress you out, and you need to plan your route and make sure that you don't die. Manage your jetpacks, manage your health, and everything. And yeah, I think it's a really cool game.
I think so too. And you alluded to progression and careers, but I don't know if we want to go into any more detail on some of the skill trees and some of that new stuff that's out. All of the above that Rob, or all of what Rob was just talking to, is one way of progressing in the game. Do you want to go deeper
Yeah,
into some of those
everything
trees.
everything you're doing now in the game, you're kind of earning XP, either seasonal XP and or you're earning skills in different areas depending what you're doing. And if you now go into the inventory, there's two new tabs at the top. One of them is called progression, and one of them is called skills. And the whole questing, progression, and skills, they all work hand in hand. Those systems, they're really complicated but really tightly integrated the way we built them. So for example, some of the quests you're required to do crafting. So first of all, you need to gather the ingredients, and then you need to go and find the correct crafting benches. And I think we've got 12 active crafting benches within the game, and those are different tiers. So tier one crafting all the way up to tier five. I think we've only got tier three at the up to tier three at the moment live in the game. Um, but to activate these benches, you actually have to unlock them with the skill tree. So you're gaining perk points, and then you need to go and follow the different trees, make sure you've got the right skill. So it's it's a really simple to use but really powerful system.
Yeah, very, very cool. And it also, with earning IGC, there's more of a core game loop in play now with all of that,
Mm-hmm.
where you're building out your apartment with IGC that you need by
Yeah.
going and doing other things in the game like quests, civic works,
Yeah,
and
that's the main thing, really. As you complete some of these quests, some of them are short, some of them are longer. You're always earning IGC. Everyone gives you IGC, which then obviously is very useful when you're building out your apartment because you pay for all the in game with IGC just stands for in game currency, so it's free. You just need complete missions. You get, and then you buy the items for your apartment.
so it's a huge game loop that
Yeah,
is very important. You get to customize your space to how you want to live in this world. You customize your avatar, who you want to be
yeah,
in this world, and then how you want your lodging to look. You're building that out over time by going and doing tasks throughout the game, and
yeah.
that's a great game loop that
They,
increases
they
the.
all they all add to the economy. So it's really complex, but playing it is really really simple. It's complex underneath, but together it's just simple.
Agreed, agreed. Well, that brings us up to crafting. 400 recipes.
Just over, but I think 429. I think I'd need to check, but yeah, we in the previous build we tested that we had three things that you can craft, and now yeah we've got over 400. So I fully expect people to go around and create their own little catalog and share it with each other, and the way that works is where you get some items, and we don't tell you what the recipes are. You kind of have to try them yourself. So when you actually go to a crafting bench, depending on if you have the right tier for the item or not, what you'll see is in your inventory some items glow and some are kind of faded. Those that glow are the ones that you can use within that crafting bench. And if you have all the items to create the recipe will automatically appear on the right, a list of recipes. So you don't have to kind of drag things over trial and error. You just really have to. No, wait, sorry. You do have to drag things over trial and error, but you will drag them the ones that are highlighted.
Right. And it's a
Makes
powerful
more
system.
sense
Well
than I
done.
explained it.
That's been in the works for a year as well.
Oh yeah, well over a year.
Yeah, yeah. But it's a great addition to the game loop. Obviously, very well.
Yeah, it's massive because the crafting benches you'll find crafting benches within every town. Every town has two different types of craft within there. You won't find the same two towns the same, but also the crafting benches you can add to your apartment. And I've seen a lot of players adding the crafting benches to their apartment. Up to tier three, you can add to your own apartment if you don't want to venture out into the towns. So we spent an awful lot of time with those crafting benches.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's fun. Um, well, I think a lot of people are excited about the new PvP arena as well. Well, it's not a new arena, but it's got a new gaming system in there that you could tell us
Yeah,
about the scoreboards.
at the moment it's kind of like a work in progress. So it is really version one. It's something that we kind of added for fun, but we've got that working now. So yeah, it's red versus blue. It's PvP, free for all. and if you get shot, you respawn back in your base where there's kind of unlimited ammo, and it's against the clock. And yeah, I mean it's like I say, it's the first version. In the future, we're going to advance that. We've got capture the flag that we're working on. We're going to have a different dedicated PvP arena rather than just this one. We just use this just to kind of test the logic and everything. But that also leads on to the whole criminal system, because in the game what we've built is we've built areas where players are not supposed to start killing other players. So for example, in the past, because we didn't have this system, when people were onboarding and coming out of the ship, you had people camping and trying to take them out. Well, now we have this criminal system that we were working on, it just wasn't ready at the time, where we have these bots. And if you go and if there's different areas, and if you go into an area that is a safe zone, then you start shooting people, then you will start getting um, a bounty on your head. And if you get a bounty on the head, the security drones will come after you. But it also means that other players can kill you and they don't get a bounty on their head. So that's useful to know. And if you do see people trying to shoot you, head into kind of like a medical center, because they can't shoot you in the medical center. Those are just designated safe zones. You'll see a little notification comes on the top to tell you if you're in a safe zone or not.
Yep. Yep. Quite true. Okay. Um,
That
so,
oh sorry, and that will progress in the future, because we've been working on prisons for the last few months as well. So in a later release, those people will be transported to prison, where we have some not so very fun tasks that you will have to do if you want to get out of prison. I think they're fun,
but
but they might think it's not fun.
you're, you're saying, I think we're saying that that's going to should be ready for the Rifts build, the next major build.
I hope so. We are about to start work on it next week. Well, all the artwork has almost been finished. The gameplay has almost been finished, so it's just a case of putting it both together now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which doesn't always prove to be super easy. There's sometimes
Nope,
complications that come with that.
certainly
But
isn't.
yeah.
The final thing. So each of the seasons, like I say, are going to have a theme. And what we introduced with this one is all about relics. So we released the cinematic with Maxwell Calder. He's kind of like, I don't know. He sounds a little bit like Jason Statham. I think if you Americans are
Yeah, the
trying to,
accent is cool. I like it.
yeah. So the idea is, in all the solaces, there's all these crash zones, um, and if you fly around, there's smoke everywhere, and there's these containers, and he's after the some of the items, some of these relics, um, and they're actually worth a lot of our IGC, a lot of in-game currency, which are very good for your apartment. Some of them are 50,000 IGC, 100,000. I've seen even more than that. And once you actually go to one of these containers, you get somewhere between 6 and 12 different relics. You then take those relics to the antique shop, and that's where you get money for them. And that's this is a whole cinematic story, and we're going to expand on the relic quest as we get closer to season X. And yeah, this is part of the lore stories
Yeah, I
unraveling.
like it. I like it. Finding the wreckage and seeking those out is actually
Yeah,
pretty fun. A lot of people have expressed that it's not that easy. You definitely need
no,
to get high up, ideally with your pack, where you
yeah.
can explore around and look for it. But
There's not only that, is originally when we did it, the items in the containers, they kind of respawned every minute, and Rene wasn't happen to that. So Rene on the QA team. So we've adjusted those numbers. So now they actually don't respawn for hours. So it actually makes those relic quests, quite rare. If you spot something, you make sure that
which,
you raid it all, because you
yeah,
don't know
some
when it's
people
going
are
to
saying I
throw up.
keep finding spots and everything's gone. It's already
I'm not
been
going to tell you
looted.
how many hours, but it's quite a few. It's more.
Yeah,
It's more than one and less than 23.
yeah. Um, okay, so I think that covers all the major features.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I missed the relic quest there. Then, okay, so next up we have a reminder for the node operators. If you are and operating, you need to upgrade to the new node. Um, because that's required for you to be able to collect your tokens. Is that accurate? Am I accurate?
Yeah, our game gets distributed to the community via our community node system. So if you want to ensure that you get your reward, you need to be on the latest one. We've seen a few that are actually behind, and we've done a lot of updates to those nodes definitely over the last 3 or 4 months. So you definitely want to make sure that you get them updated, and we have dedicated channels within our Discord, so if you're a node operator, you'll know about those. So just go and check what version you're on, because it will affect your rewards if you're not up to date.
Yep. Okay. Very, very good. Um, Final thing that we need to cover before we get into questions is the apartments show and tell. So we've got obviously the new builder, and you guys are out building. Matt created a channel in the Discord for you guys to share what you've built, so we can check
Yep.
it out. If we like it, we might repost it or do something with it. But let's all show off what we're building, because it's fun. It encourages others to get in there and have fun and enjoy themselves with the builder. New building kits are going to be coming soon, so that'll be fun. And then, yeah, I guess that brings us to the questions segment.
Okay. So let's go. So the first one with them we have is from the IRS. Okay. The IRS.
I'm out.
This is an interesting question. So with JPEG Store going offline at the end of May, are there plans for your own Infinity Rising aftermarket, apart from the Anvil project? And if so, would external third-party items be allowed? So, are we creating our own marketplace, basically?
Are we creating our own marketplace? It's a great question. Yes, we are. In fact, we're very close with the land portion of our marketplace, where the community will be able to buy and sell land on our market, on our store. So that's pretty close. But then adding all the other assets that we've built over time, that's going to take a little bit longer. Because that's a cross chain endeavor. We started with land because our land was so early that was only on Cardano. So it makes it a little easier to knock that one out and get you guys trading that, which is fun. So we're excited to bring that to you very soon. We're not too far off, I don't believe.
Yeah, and we announced we announced the partnership with Anvil. That they've got their own now marketplace on Cardano called Way
Way
Up.
up is what it's called. I was definitely about to cover that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, so thank you for bringing that. JPEG's down. Way up is up, and people are many have already moved their assets
yeah,
there, and so yeah, that's where you can find Infinity Rising secondary assets right now. And we worked with Anvil to build the tech that allows the land marketplace on our store. So they helped us out with that, and that's a significant partnership for us.
yeah.
Very cool.
It's the fastest growing marketplace on Cardano at the moment. Everybody's migrating over to migrate your assets. You just need to go to the Anvil site and press migrate or import. Um, and look out for the Anvil billboards within Infinity Rising. They're all over the place.
They are. They are. This is true. Okay. Next question. What you got?
So the next one's from Faux Hubris of Around the Corn. He wants to know, there's a lot of talk about hiding the Web3 stuff from new players, but is there actually a marketing plan in the alpha or further out to explain token utility, or is it just hoping they will figure it out organically?
Right. That's a really good point. Initially, it's just about getting those players onboarded and using the Infinity Wallet and playing the game and having fun. Over time, ideally, what happens is they start building up some rewards in their account, and then we have a means of educating them that they have something available to them. And that would be the onboarding process. It's like, hey, you've got this in your account, and it would be an alert type of system where it tells them what they've earned and how that works. And that'll be when we have the rewards tokens that you can earn and convert to Rise. So which has all been planned and talked about in the tokenomics paper, but not the specific answer that I just gave Fo on converting and educating the mainstream gamers. That will be done based upon demand. We don't ever want to push something on somebody. Rather, we want to pull them and say, "Hey, you've got this gift here waiting for you. Why do you want to check it out? It has value for you." That sort of thing.
Yep.
Okay, next question is for you, Rob, from Mr.
Okay.
Taylor. Can we get a look at all of the crafting tables?
Um, we can have I can what I can do is what I thought I would do for this is I thought I'd jump in game. I'm not going to show you all of them, but I can show you some. I've prepared something in my little test level. Um, so this is not a level that players will get to see, but this is how we test them. So we have agriculture. Now these all of our all of our crafting benches actually come in 5 tiers. So there's 5 versions of all these benches, and you're just going to see the tier ones here. Um, I don't think I can interact with it at the moment because I don't have the correct perks. So that's what you would see in game. So if that ever happens, you then need to pop into here, go into progression, specialization. Definitely need woodworking, uh, masonry, mechanic. I don't know, maybe not that one. And it is as simple as this. You kind of get the perks. I don't think I've got many left, but I've unlocked for others. This is a woodworking bench, and you just saw me unlock that perk. And here we go. And here we see some of these are highlighted. You can see these ones are not, so I can't interact with them. And you just kind of drag them all over. And if you're able to craft anything, which I don't think I am with this ingredients, they would appear here on the right. But obviously those ingredients don't do anything.
Once you get enough ingredients over, the recipe appears on the right that you can grab.
Yeah, I mean, I've not set this demo up very well. Otherwise, I should have done that. But also, I don't want to give you any secrets. So we have the metalworking or the blacksmith. We have the artisan here, where you can build stuff. That's just a general one. We've got a cooking station. I've seen quite a few people use the cooking. I don't think I've unlocked that. I probably had the ingredients for that. We've got textiles. Let's see if I can get in that. Yeah, no demos here. Mechanica, no, and the masonry. So, well, there's not a lot of masonry I'm going to be doing with these ingredients, but I will just show you what you do anyway. So you kind of do this, but not really. And the recipes will appear here. Like I say there's 400 and 400 and odd, and that's kind of it. But what also kind of what I thought I would do is actually I haven't shared this. This is definitely what we would call a leak. This is collectibles. It's such a leak that I don't even know if it's going to make it into the game, but I just thought I would share it, seeing as it's in this same level. The idea is it will build upon the relic quest. Um, so this will be in the antique shop. This is just the test thing, and as you collect them, you'll get to collect them here. So all the commons will be here, all the uncommons, then the rare, the legendary, and the mythics. And actually, what you can see here is how many relics there are actually in game. This is correct. Um, and so the idea is you get a relic, you would then discover it, add it to your deck, and then you can go and sell it. But you will always get to come back because we've got this amazing artwork, and it'd be a shame for you just to see these things. And then we'll have a whole description maybe on the right. And it'll unlock some lore of what they're going to, and then in the future we'll have more collectibles, and it really builds upon that theme and adds more gameplay because not only are you now probably very rare to get some of these mythics, maybe players now have to start sharing them with each other to get them unlocked. So yeah, that is very interesting. Future gameplay, maybe give us your feedback definitely below if you want us to do that. it's all working.
Yeah.
It just needs styling and
Yeah, it's
integrating in
fun.
the game.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of our questions and the end of the episode. Please like, comment, subscribe. We want to hear your feedback. Have you been enjoying the new build? It seems like everyone has. We actually scraped and pulled from Discord, and there were like 312 positive comments. People are loving it. You guys are just having a blast, and we love that we finally got to hand that build over to you, because now we're the team has gotten a little bit of rest, and we're hitting the ground running on the next build after this hotfix comes out, which I believe should be today, hopefully. And yeah, so much more fun stuff coming. We're just going to keep building and keep trucking. And we thank you all for your support and being involved. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Welcome. You're here early, that's good. Means there's something special about you. We got a whole lot going wrong around here. You better train up. We got terrors knocking on our infrastructure, and some mighty strange occurrences going on. I'm afraid our world is at risk. Without people like you, Cornucopias might fall into darkness. Better get smart, get trained, and be ready. The storm is coming. I can feel it. I'd like to say we've been through worse, but this time I'm not so sure. Good luck out there. You're going to need every bit you can get.
Children of the multiverse, you have crossed the veil through the gate to stand with us in Cornucopias. You have my appreciation. I am but a messenger, a guide sent to show you the path that must be walked. But know this, the rifts are only the beginning. What you have seen is but a shadow of what is yet to come. The path ahead is dark, and the cost will be great. For the dangers you face are not born of this world alone, but from beyond it. Some of you will fight the tide, others will build and restore, some will weave knowledge, while others will sustain through trade and creation. Strength, will, and unity, these are the bonds that will endure when all else is broken. Rise now, stand against the tide, for infinity does not end, it begins. Infinity is rising.